Hi there, lovely Libra. How are you doing? This is Raina, and this is a love reading for May 2024. Just gonna pick four cards here. Okay, so let's see what I think about this. Okay, and I'm just gonna read it from left to right. The first card I got here is the Wheel of Fortune. I do believe that I what's coming into my mind is the eclipses, the eclipse cycle. Wheel of Fortune can be like indicating cycles in life. And you see the person at the bottom. Sometimes people are at the top of their game, at the top of their cycle. We all go through different phases. And with the eclipses, you had an eclipse in your sign, and that's like a powerful full moon. That this was back in March that you had an eclipse, and so that affected your seventh house of committed partnership. um the sun was in that house at that time, and then you had a solar eclipse in that house as well in this month of April. So the Wheel of Fortune to me can mean for like coupled individuals that you may have had some kind of shakeup in your relationship. And yeah, I should have said at the beginning, this is for both single people and people who are coupled. But for the people who are coupled, this is for relationships that are on the rocks. It's not for people who are happy as a clam. So, yeah, I mean, there might have even been some secret that came out that rocked the relationship. But when I said rocked, I thought of the tower card, and I thought of that. When there's an explosion and it rocks it just the lid just pops off of something that's like under pressure. That's actually a good thing, because it means that the person is being liberated from whatever it was that was trying to be suppressed. It isn't like something bad unless people make it that way. So for single people, this may be, hey, this is a great time to find somebody with that solar eclipse in your um, house of committed partnership that could, not to say that you would do something very rashly, but it might plant seeds that could have a harvest later on in terms of bringing your ideal partner to you, or the person you're meant to be with, at least in this season, if you want to look at it as cycles. We have here the Three of Cups. This is a card of celebration. So if any single, or even people who are coupled, this could happen to you too, where you're going to somebody else's celebration and you meet a very special person yourself. Also, I would say for single individuals, are you putting yourself out there? Are you socializing? Because that is the way that you're going to be able to circulate and even be able to meet someone. They're likely not going to just come knocking on your door. So there has to be some um, you know, way that you are doing that. There's got to be some way. Also, if any of you have been neglecting your friends, I could see a Libra person getting involved with someone and then kind of blowing off their friends. I don't mean that in a negative way, like, oh yeah, Libra people would just blow off their friends. But the reason I say this about Libra in particular is because you are very connected to, um, you're very much desiring to be part of a couple. So, um, that's why people do this in the first place. They really want that kind of relationship, and they want to pour all this energy into it. But the problem is that, first of all, if they're pouring a lot of energy into it, or I should say, if you have done this in the past where you have just kind of avoided, kind of ignored your life before you met somebody and just kind of spent most of your time and energy on that person, it might be because the relationship is just not working. Because in the best scenario, you have a relationship that's very easy to maintain. It's not something where it's sucking at your life force, and so you feel sapped. Or even worse than that, if you're with somebody who's very controlling and they don't want you to have a life outside of them. And that kind of thing can also, present problems as well. So keep that in mind, because this could be something that is a change for you, and that you should kind of like really observe if you've been kind of avoiding socializing. Maybe it could simply be because you're working a lot. See how it feels if you decide to do that, and maybe make it a habit that you're going to go out, and just for platonic reasons, you're just going to connect with others and see how that feels. And you might find that it is a very necessary outlet that provides you, it kind of enriches your life. But it might be in that very scenario that you meet somebody in May that turns out to be somebody very significant in your life as a whole. Page of Wands. This is good news. You may be hearing something that really makes you feel great. So you might be hearing some particular news that, if you had been talking to someone and they call you back, maybe after your best friend's wedding shower, it could be very passionate communication or just uplifting communication. In some cases, this could be the start of some kind of new relationship. Well, I shouldn't say relationship. I meant connection. Maybe it just starts out with talking. And this person might even be like a fire sign individual. So Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. And that's harmonizes with Libra. So on that front, it's good. Um, so far, the first three cards are very positive. By the way, Wheel of Fortune is connected to the planet Jupiter, which happens to be um, the ruler of Sagittarius. So maybe it is, of all the fire signs, it's Sagittarius. And then we have the Four of Swords, which is kind of a card of recovery. So if you have been through a lot of stress, and this may not have anything to do particularly with your love life, but it could be like, I really feel like there's like a pulling back because you're still in recovery mode. You might be talking to somebody, but you might not be ready to just kind of jump in full on in May, but that doesn't mean that in June you're not, or in July. But the point is that the Four of Swords can be a card of maybe reflection. I really see it not so much in a social sense as more kind of like solitary, getting your head on straight, physical recuperation from something. And the reason that this is important in a love reading is because you may have been through the ringer relationship wise in the recent past. And it's kind of reminding you, whoa, let's take our time. I honestly believe that if someone is meant for you, they're going to wait, or they're going to, the timing will not ever be quote unquote off. Even if it is off at one point in your life and you reunite with someone later on, that to me would have been meant to be. And so ultimately you would still reunite with that person. But the Four of Swords to me is more about getting over some other thing in the past. But it could point to, for some Libra people, you're not ready to go into this love scene. But it could be that something has begun. The wheels are turning. The wheels of fate are turning. You meet somebody, you briefly talk to them at a wedding shower, and then you meet up with them again later on when everything is better aligned. Okay, that's what I have for you. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, in addition to love readings, which are astrology based, and most of my readings are astrology based except actual tarot readings. But, I have for career, I have natal chart interpretation, transits, like a package deal with both of those. You can find out more information at the link below. I'm at rainandmoonastrology.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.